It started with a headline and a question. The headline? Gregor Robertson had just announced his Greenest city plan, actions intended to brand both the city and its mayor as green. One target caught our eye. Cutting water use by 1/3 will likely mean residential water meters. Cities throughout the country have had them for decades. Vancouver doesn't. Our question? Why not? Gregor Robertson wants Vancouver to be the world's greenest city. In late October, the mayor began touting 10 green targets to enhance the city's economy, community, and health by 2020. Besides putting trees in the ground and bikes on the road, Vancouver plans to slash water consumption by 1/3 over the next decade. Over in the suburbs, places not usually considered green, programs to drastically reduce water use are already in place. Peter Lawrence volunteered to get a water meter nearly 3 years ago when Richmond offered free installation and promised his bill wouldn't grow for at least 1 year.
The installation was a fairly easy process. The water meter itself is installed on the water main in the front yard. There's a little cover, that's all you sort of see.
Peter and his wife Benita have since added 2 small members to their household, but the meter still means big savings.
Every time we get a bill, it says this is how much you have saved by being a metered customer, and it's been something like $400 or $500 a year. So that is a significant amount of money for me anyways.
According to the firm contracted to install Richmond's meters, the Lawrence's big savings are not out of the ordinary.
If you are less than 5 people in a house, you will likely save money on a water meter, versus if there are more than 5 people, you will end up paying more.
Dragon and his company also installed meters in West Vancouver, reducing water use there by nearly 25%. While every city has to weigh different benefits and costs, the biggest challenge may be convincing taxpayers to get on board.
Common misconceptions about water metering is that it's a tax grab. I hear that a lot. That's really not the case.
Richmond and West Vancouver have programs to encourage metering, but why has it taken so long for Vancouver? We took that question to Councillor David Cadman, one of 17 experts handpicked for the Mayor's Greenest City Action Team.
Well, I think it's taken a long time because we had abundant water. I mean, most of the year here it rains. We now see that what used to be occasional dry spells during the summer is now becoming prolonged dry spells.
But those dry spells have been happening for years. Vancouver introduced lawn watering restrictions in 1992 and began imposing fines a year later.
I mean, it hasn't come to the fore as a political goal. It's now come to the fore as part of the Greenest City Task Force as a political goal.
The city is studying the issue and expects a plan by next fall. But Vancouver's promise to cut water use by 2020 isn't groundbreaking. Gordon Campbell's Liberals made the same promise in June 2008.
Gregor Robertson believes his green plan could put Vancouver ahead of Oslo, Portland, and Copenhagen, world leaders in greenhouse gas reduction, transportation, and green enterprise. But unless City Council can find ways to finance the necessary infrastructure, Vancouver may find itself lagging behind Surrey, Richmond, and West Vancouver.
For Peter Lawrence, installing a water meter is a common sense step to a more efficient lifestyle for the whole region.
If we can reduce the amount of water that we use, we don't have to build another treatment facility. We don't have to build another dam or another reservoir. And that's going to, I think, make a difference for all of us from an economic standpoint, as well as possibly from an environmental one.
For Thunderbird TV, I'm Brent Wittmeier.
Gregor Robertson's picture often gets splashed all over the news, but getting a hold of him is another matter. The mayor's office directed us to a city councillor, and after a promising first conversation, we couldn't get a hold of her. To make matters worse, our idea to find a character affected by water metering wasn't going well.
This is what we have.
It was time for a second round of brainstorming. We decided to search for a satisfied water meter user. We found Peter Lawrence, a park interpreter with Metro Vancouver. The only problem? He lives right by the airport.
They also sent someone who came with...
Wait, that is the plane he's going over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also ran into other roadblocks, like minutes before our Dan Dragonetti interview.
We're here, we don't have a tape, because Barbara called us and recalled one of our cameras because one of the cameras we took was due to be repaired by a repairman coming at 11, which is also the same time as our interview. So Brandy went back, and then when we swapped equipment, she also took all the blank tapes by accident. So now we're taping with my mobile phone.
Go, folks. We're
London
going
Drugs
to London Drugs.
Is our savior for right now.
Yes, we have to. Oh, there it. Oh my God! It is
Holy
London Drugs. Holy, good eye, you guys.
We're down one camera. We're down all tripods. We're down one man. We still have one tape, and we can still tape this interview.
On time.
Meanwhile, we managed to arrange an interview with a different city councillor. We asked David Cadman why Vancouver didn't have water meters, but it's not easy to get a councillor to tell us why he and the city hadn't acted earlier.
So why now for the green plan?
Well, I think now because,
Why has the city council acted sooner, or at least?
well, I think,
So then why hasn't there been a voluntary program in place already? Back to the original question. So why now?
well, I think
Cadman's answer was that there hadn't been enough political will before now. Fair enough, but that left us with a different question. What about now? We wrote a stand-up to raise the question, but like everything else about this story, filming it wasn't easy.
Gregor Robertson believes his green plan could put Vancouver ahead of Oslo, Portland, and Copenhagen.
It was time to head back to the newsroom. Although we started with just a headline and a question, we now had to take 3 hours of footage and turn it into just 3.5 minutes of TV. For Thunderbird TV, this is still Brent Wittmeier.